Hey, there's our buddy Craig Gassis here.
What's happening, man?
Hey, how are you, sir?
We're on the air.
I'm doing good.
We're on the air, so don't say that one word.
So exciting.
Biatch. Dude, nice to see you, man. We're just doing celebrity news.
Great to see you, too.
It's been a long time. How long?
It's been forever. There's
how long
no...
has it been? 7 years, 8 years?
Yeah, when I threw out the first pitch at the Cardinals game.
And I was saying, I have a picture of you in my house in South City holding my son, who was an infant at the time.
And he's a junior in college
yeah,
now.
He's yeah, going to Harvard now, which is fantastic.
Really?
No, he's 8 now, so that had to be 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago.
That's amazing.
That's nuts. It's been too long, Craig Gass.
It really has. There's no good reason for it. It's just there's no good reason for it.
No.
I just, a friend of mine's getting married here in St. Louis, and I was like, all right, I'll come in and I'll put together a show. We'll have some fun. I got to reconnect with some friends.
That's what you do.
That's just-
I mean,
yeah,
he just
we
comes
were
to
talking
town with not
yesterday.
really a plan.
Yeah.
You're like the anti-comic. Like most people, like put a tour together and then go to those cities. You go to the city and then find some place to work.
I book my shows around sporting events and concerts. I won't
That's
go.
awesome.
I won't go to a city unless there's some kind of sporting event. I get really heavy in the playoffs of basketball. Canada, I will only go in May and June when the hockey playoffs are going on.
You were in Texas for the Super Bowl, weren't you?
I'm at the Super Bowl every year now.
Crazy.
Did you see that thing with the World Series with Bill Murray?
Oh, yeah.
Let's not.
I've got some stories.
Let's not talk about that yet.
I auditioned for Saturday Night Live this summer.
Let's not blow the whole thing yet. All
All
right.
right. All right.
We got.
You
time,
just got
Craig
here.
Gass.
Some cool things
You've
are
been here
happening.
for
And I'm
3
performing
seconds.
at a small bar called Bar 101.
Oh, yeah.
we know Bar 101.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And we have this really cool space in there, and I'm doing a show on Saturday night. So, yes, we got a lot to cover.
All right.
So,
Well, let's finish up this.
I got
celebrity
a
news.
couple more guesses.
Okay. Well, now we're thinking about.
wait, what are we guessing about?
We're thinking about musicians that have successfully transformed into stars of screen, besides Will Smith.
So I got David Bowie, Madonna.
Mick Jagger. But successful.
Madonna was not very successful.
We
as an actress.
said Justin
Evita,
Timberlake,
that was
and he
it.
did not agree.
Vita.
He said he's
and
not a star
League
yet.
of Their Own.
He's not on the level of Will Smith.
Oh, I
Like
got
Will
one.
Smith did Independence Day, and he became a star.
Right.
Will Smith
Yeah.
is an A-list star.
I got one. Mark Wahlberg.
Ooh.
Yes.
Got it.
Can I do the worst Mark Wahlberg impression of all time?
Yes, please.
I don't even call it Mark Wahlberg. I call it out of breath Mark Wahlberg. Here we go. Guys, are you serious? He's been guessing all morning. You haven't even guessed at all. You better come on. Feel it. Feel the vibration. That's terrible.
That's good.
It's a terrible impression. It's not Mark Wahlberg.
It's not your best.
Out
been,
of breath.
It's been a while since you've been here. Do you know Rizz has honed his impressions? I mean,
Shut up.
he's got some that are spot on.
Let's hear it.
Okay,
listen,
Give us your Mark Wahlberg. I'm
let's
sure
go.
you got
Let's
one.
go through the list.
All right.
Let's go through some
All
of
right.
them. All right.
This and listen, Craig is a master impressionist.
So
I
you
don't know.
judge him, okay? Keanu Reeves.
Whoa.
Okay. All right. That's good. What else? Help me out, guys. Joey Lawrence.
Whoa.
That's a good one. Ooh, here's one of my personal favorites, Jay Leno.
Hey, I'm Jay Leno. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
We're working on those.
Is that intimidating to do that in front of him? I mean,
You guys keep laughing, but you know what? Those impressions are spot on. You're not even giving them any credit. Come on. Feel it. Feel the vibration.
All right, next.
Queen Latifah. That's another one.
you're still on that.
Ooh,
That
that's
is a
good, too.
fantastic one.
Ice
do know
Cube,
he-
Ice Cube, baby.
You know he gave us the answer, right?
Oh, you did?
It was Adam Sandler and David Spade.
But that's but
No,
ours
the thing is,
beats them.
Justin Bieber now wants to be an actor, so he's gone to Adam Sandler and
David
David
Spade.
Spade for advice on how
Oh,
to get
dude.
into movies.
How did that become public information?
Because we have TMZ, I guess.
Cool. So Justin Bieber's going to be
took-
in Grown Ups 3.
they
That
took-
gem.
That happens all the time, you know? There's people who are in one industry and they try to talk to them. I just want to know how that became public information. Like
Who
there's-
leaked it?
Yeah, there's people who try to like talk to buddies like, "Hey man, hook me up." I'm like, I know athletes and musicians who have come to me, a low-level dude, like, "Hey, if you ever want to, you know." So you like I just feel bad for like someone went
Get a load of this guy. Check out what he wants to
Jackass.
do.
Yeah.
I think so few things leak these days. I bet you this is PR.
Yeah.
I bet you this is PR.
Yeah,
I mean, at
'cause it's gonna
that
be-
upper echelon,
It's
that's
gonna be to Adam
also
Sandler, like,
PR.
what? You're not going to put Justin Bieber in a movie? Now
Yeah.
you're going to be kind of forced to put him
It
in
wouldn't
a
have been Sandler because Sandler's a
No.
pretty solid dude.
Exactly. Bieber has Sandler's number. They
Sandler.
called. Nobody's saying, okay, who's not going to talk about this?
Sandler's one of the most easygoing dudes on planet Earth.
Hmm.
He's just kind of like, life is perfect. He's got no complaints. He's a good
Yeah, he
dude.
wears basketball shorts to
Wears
work.
basketball
Yeah.
shorts. People come at him with all kinds of stuff, and he's, he seems to be he's a pretty good dude. He takes care of
He's
his
a guy
friends.
I'd like to meet.
Yeah.
I remember
Sure.
back in the day, the one time I interviewed him, he was saying how Chris Farley just was always just on his couch. Like every time Chris Farley was in town, he would just sleep on his couch and just be done.
Sandler's doing this song now about Farley that's, oh my God, it's so like emotional. He does this stand-up thing, and then he plays all these silly songs, and it's like no time has passed from the stuff he did on SNL to what he's doing right now. All the songs are that silly, that kind of tone. And then he just throws out a song about his buddy Farley, and it makes
And it's
everybody
like,
cry.
wah, wah.
But it's very sweet. It's very
I can
sweet.
imagine. Or they were good friends.
By the way, before I get to the birthdays, Tony Danza. Go. Bring it.
What?
This is a tough one for me.
All right.
I got to really get into it here. Mona, Samantha, Jonathan. Thank you, guys.
Good. Did you need an opener at Bar 101?
Can we?
That was the single, double, and triple. Where's the home run?
Wait a minute. I want to do.
wait,
Can I do a quick scene with Tony Danza and Tracy Morgan?
Uh-huh.
All right. Tracy Morgan enters Tony Danza's apartment. He's the next door neighbor. Hey, Tony, who you been hanging out with today?
Samantha,
Yeah.
Mona,
Okay.
Jonathan,
Okay.
Angela.
That's crazy.
Thank you.
You guys, that's award winning right there, guys.
Wow. Tony Danza, Tracy Morgan. Bar 101. Go to getgas.com. Get gas with 2 S's for tickets.
Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried, and you're listening to the Rizzuto Show. Happy birthday, Rizz.
All right, welcome back. He's the best, isn't he?
That was Gilbert?
That was actually
All
Gilbert.
right, I didn't know if that was me, if that was Gilbert.
You asked Gilbert. Sometimes the line is blurry, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be. There's times
that was
I call people's
actually Gilbert
voicemails,
Gottfried.
and I go, oh my God, Gene Simmons, like, oh, that was me. That was me doing like, I'll hear my own like impression of somebody on.
Well, that voice you hear is Craig Gass, who's back in town. It's been
And
maybe
this
7, 8
voice
years.
is Tracy Morgan.
And he is. So you're at Bar 101
Bar 101.
on Saturday night.
Saturday night. This show is going to sell out, not because I'm famous, but
Well, it's a small place.
it holds 15 people. It's going to sell out. I mean, that's a guarantee. That's a sure shot right there.
Set yourself up for a win. is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
that's right.
15 people and we are done.
Sellouts.
Go.
Only- No, the better way to say it is only 15 tickets left.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, low ticket alert.
go to getgas.com. Getgas with 2 S's.com.
And like you come to town with basically not a plan.
no plan at all.
Well, you have a friend who's getting married who's from here.
Yeah, my buddy Craig Wagner's getting married on Friday, and so I just came to town to send some good vibes his way and doing a show on Saturday. And I just kept thinking, like, it's been so long since I've been here, like, it makes no sense. I got to reconnect.
Yes.
You
Well,
know?
it's great to see you, and I know you've been up to a lot. I follow your escapades on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And thanks for not following me, by the way, on Twitter, which is very nice.
That's good stuff.
That's
great stuff.
Trust me, I noticed that. But I follow you, and because I like to see what you're up to. I like to keep tabs on my friends. I mean, I've known you for almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
Back in the old New York days.
Yeah.
You were trying out for the Howard Stern show.
Yes, and I was doing a tremendous amount of cocaine back then.
Right.
A lot of. I
We
remember
were all kids back then, you know.
I was. I remember going in after performing in Philly. I think I had a gig in Philly on Saturday night, and I stayed up until Monday morning.
Nice.
And I came in, and Howard would take these long breaks, like 18-minute breaks for commercials. And I thought, all right, it's 18 minutes. I can put my head down. And I put my head down, and I slept all the way through to the next break. And I just remember hearing people whispering, and I was like, And I heard Stuttering John go, "He smells like pee." And I lifted my head up, and I'd been the whole country was listening to me snore.
It's amazing. The biggest radio show of all time, and you're in the studio sleeping.
Yeah.
After a bender the night before.
2 nights before. That was the worst part.
2 nights before. Now, as an elder statesman of comedy, you look back on those days and you go, damn, what an idiot I was. Or do you look fondly upon those days?
I mean, it's there's no regrets.
No regrets, right, guys?
No regrets.
No raggerts.
My first, what was sad is when I quit doing everything, when I finally, I had a heart attack.
You did?
I had a heart attack, and I quit 2 years after the heart attack.
That wasn't the wake-up call?
Well, that scared me straight for like a year and 2 weeks, solid. And then I got in a relationship with a horrible girl that would beg me to do coke with her, knowing that I had a heart attack.
And how long ago was this?
Well, that would have been 14 years ago was the heart attack. Actually, close to 15. And then it scared me straight, and then I got in this bad relationship, and she would beg me to do coke with her and say, just do it in moderation like I do. And I'd have to go like, bitch, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I can't do anything in moderation. I'm not really programmed that way. And I finally just said, yeah, screw it. Let's do it. And I dived off. And I couldn't get back. I was shocked at how much worse I was. I just kept going and going and going. And on the 2-year anniversary of my heart attack, I was at a Steel Panther show. They were called Metal School back then.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm at the Roxy. I had just opened
In Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles, I just opened for Steel Panther, and I'm out in the crowd. I'm drinking a beer. It hits midnight, so now it's December 14th, and that's the anniversary of my heart attack. And I was like, wow, man, I had a heart attack 2 years ago. I wasn't even that hammered that night. It was like a light turned on, and I went, what the hell am I doing? This doesn't make any sense. I had just started taking care of my mom at that point, and I've been paying my mom's bills now for 17 years.
Wow.
But I'm like, I'm paying my mom's bills. I'm circling around opportunities where I literally could take care of my mom for the rest of her life. Why am I doing this?
I think I'm like, hey, 2 years. Let's do cocaine to celebrate.
Yeah, so I for the first time in my life, I had half a beer, and I threw it in the garbage can.
Wow, and that's it.
And oh my God, it's gone.
Not a drink.
Nothing.
Not a drink since. Wow,
It'll be
good for you.
It'll be 13 years in December.
Good for the look at
And
this
in the
guy.
first year that I quit, 7 of my friends died. All comedians, 4 drug overdoses, and 3 drinking and driving car accidents. Mitch Hedberg was my roommate in New York. My first roommate in New York. And he was the first one to die. And then all these other guys just kept dropping. And every one of them, sadly, was like, you can't.
Whether it be Mitch Hedberg or Greg Giraldo.
Yeah.
And Ralphie May last week.
Ralphie, a lot of.
I mean, that's TMZ had posted some pictures of Ralphie May. I guess the night that he passed away, he was at a meet and greet.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
and he looked terrible.
Oh, he was so weak that he was supposed to like go up some steps to the meet and greet, and they brought it down to him. That's how weak he was.
And you can see by these pictures that he was not in great shape. Like, he should not have been.
He never was in great shape. He had a lap band surgery, and he ate through the lap band that he had.
Yeah, then they had his final meal was like jalapeno poppers and something
from Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah, he's a 40-something-year-old guy eating jalapeno poppers.
Well, when you had
like 1 a.m.
When you had a heart attack, how'd you know you had a heart attack?
I just knew I couldn't breathe. I had been up for a couple days doing coke, and my breathing had become more and more restricted. And I was at a buddy's place, and I knocked on his door, and I said, "Hey, man, I'm having problems breathing." And he said, "Well, do you want to go to a hospital?" And I went, "I don't know." And
you were on. I mean, were you doing coke?
Oh yeah.
Like, so you were all coked out.
Yeah, and
last thing you want to do is go to the hospital when you're all coked out.
Yeah, which is why I hesitate. But he said he had never heard me hesitate on anything. He said, I've always been like, yeah, we're doing this. Let's go. Come on, get in the car. We're doing this. All right, now we're going here. We're going to go see Korn. All right, now we're going to this. Now we're going to a baseball game. And he said when I hesitated, he was like, all right, let's go. Let's go. And he threw me in a car, went to the hospital. They did a bunch of tests, and the guy was calling for a cardiologist. We needed a cardiologist immediately, and he was screaming to get a cardiologist down there. And I said, what's wrong? And he said, your enzyme levels are supposed to be this much, and they're 100 times that.
So was it one of those like my left arm is gone numb and I
No, it's just
the old grabber?
My breathing was becoming more and more restricted. This is like, it was just
From what I hear, it's almost like somebody sitting on your chest.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was. I couldn't get a full deep breath, and it was getting tighter and tighter. And this guy's explaining to me what my enzyme levels are, and I said, well, "What does that mean?" He said, "You're having a heart attack." And I said, "Okay." And we got a cardiologist coming down, and I don't know what this means. Am I dying? Like I didn't know. So I started calling friends, and saying goodbye.
Wow.
And apologizing for being such an F up.
Wow. Can you remember somebody you called?
All of them, yeah. Well, I had flown to Seattle, where a bunch of friends of mine live. They had some friends of mine. We were always broke, and we would always do like a extended family Christmas dinner because we couldn't afford to be with our families.
Yeah.
And I was going to surprise everybody and show up at the Christmas party. I was starting to make money now. I'm on the Howard Stern show, and I had bought a Santa Claus outfit. I was going to show up. My buddy Jason was going to dress up as an elf, and I was going to hand out like Christmas gifts to my buddies at the extended family Christmas dinner. And but I was like, well, I should get into town early and just maybe have a couple, 8 balls of Coke and just kind of chill out a little bit. I don't know why, but in my mind, in my mind, I actually thought like, just a couple 8 balls, just kind of chill.
Totally seemed normal, didn't it?
Yeah. Meanwhile, you're like in a hotel room, like staring at the door. Like, is someone coming in? Like, you think someone's like, it's the worst. It's the worst. It's like.
And you think back on those days and your stomach almost hurts.
Well, there's nothing worse than knowing I'm a drug addict. There's nothing more humiliating or embarrassing or shameful than realizing I can't control this. I have no control over what I'm doing. Like
well, think about your life since then, and just again following you and your escapades on Twitter. And just seeing the pictures you post, like, hey, there's Craig Gass on the sidelines at the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, I've gotten to open for Metallica now. I've opened for System of a Down. I'm doing a couple of shows with a band that I love called The Struts in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And
we talked to Jim Brewer. Jim Brewer was in here maybe a month or two ago, and he talked about opening up for Metallica.
Yeah.
And he said he did not have the best time opening up for Metallica as far as doing comedy before a giant metal band takes the stage.
Well, you end up I was the first comedian to ever open for Metallica, and I did it because it's because of you guys, because of you and Woody. I met Lars. It happened here oh my God, dude.
You're welcome.
That's right. That was the weirdest thing. I can't believe I just realized I'm in St. Louis. Woody says, hey, man, you join me anytime you want. You can stay on the whole show.
Yeah.
So I get into St. Louis, and I get in the car, and I'm driving to go visit Woody, and this amazing thing happens. He has Lars Ulrich on the phone from his house in San Francisco. And Woody knows, this is exclusive. We got to keep him on the phone.
Yeah.
So Woody keeps Lars Ulrich on the phone without playing any songs, without playing any commercials, and without a delay.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Lars is cursing every 6 words.
This was back in 2003, by the way.
2003. Oh, my God. I forgot it all happened right here. And so I drive to the studio. Lars is still on the phone. I walk in the building. Lars is still on the phone. I walk in the studio, and I go, dude, what am I? And Woody looks at me. He goes, I can't get rid of him. I don't know how to get rid of him. I don't know. And so we hatched a plan to get rid of Lars Ulrich while Lars was talking.
And you kind of struck up a friendship.
Because of the way Woody throws me under the bus, and Woody goes, Woody has an idea, and he goes, wait a minute. He goes, I have an idea. Let me talk to him. And I've told the story with you before, forgive me if you remember me telling you this story 8 years ago, and you're going to tweet me, and go, yeah, nice story from 8 years ago that I heard.
I want to get to your other stuff. I want to talk about you with Bill Murray at the World Series.
All right. Well, can I just
real quick.
Okay.
Finish this up real quick.
So Woody gets on the mic and goes. He interrupts to Lars. He goes, "Hey, Lars. I got you. Lars, let me just interrupt you for 1 second. For those just joining the broadcast, we have Lars Ulrich on the phone from his house in San Francisco. Lars, you're not going to believe this. We have a couple special guests that are in the studio right now." And he starts waving me over to a microphone, and I go, "No." And he goes. Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons from Kiss are in the studio right now. And Lars goes, is that really Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons? It is. Guys, say hi. Hey, Lars, this is Paul Stanley.
And this is Gene Simmons from Kiss. And I'm going to get right to the point, Lars. A lot of people steal from Kiss. You know it and I know it. But I think on the new Metallica record, you've gone a little too far. I'll give you a perfect example. Name one song on the new Metallica record that's completely original.
And Lars goes, I think all the songs are pretty original. I mean,
Right, but if you had to pick one song.
I guess if I had to pick one song, it'd probably be, and he gave me a song title, and I said,
That's a great song, Lars. But I'm going to be honest with you. I liked it a lot better the first time I heard it when it was called Beth.
And he went, what? How do you hear Beth in the middle of a Metallica song? And he started arguing with a fake Paul Stanley and a fake Gene Simmons. And then Woody kept pulling this move where he kept saying, hey, Lars, next door we have a talk radio station that has a movie critic that does movie reviews every Friday that has real movie stars in the studio. And he has Christopher Walken in the studio. Do you mind if he says hello? He wants to say hi to you. Is that really Christopher Walken? It is. Chris, say hi.
Hey, Lars, I love Metallica because I love cocaine. Love cocaine.
And he started talking with a fake Christopher Walken, fake Paul Stanley, fake Gene Simmons. At one point, I was Phil Anselmo from Pantera, and then Woody said, "Hey, Sam Kinison is here. Hey, what's going on, Lars? I don't know if you remember this, but we did coke in 1985, and you stole all my blow. Oh!" And Lars goes, "Didn't that guy die like 10 years ago?" And then we do a big reveal. Hey, Lars, actually, it's a comedian. And then a week later, when I went back to New York to K-Rock, Gary Delabate walked up to me and said,
Hey, so you're not going to believe this. I just got off the phone with a guy from Elektra Records, and I guess one of the guys from Metallica is trying to get a hold of him.
and it was Lars Ulrich flew me out to do a promo with him and introduced me to his band and said, hey, man, this is the guy that does all the impressions. Say hello. Craig, come on, do your impressions. And he had me, like, sit at a table.
Like, do a routine.
Do a routine.
For the guys in Metallica.
It's me and the 4 guys in Metallica sitting at one table.
And this was the St. Anger days. Remember, the Metallica was getting a lot of heat for that St. Anger record.
Yeah, but they're playing in a football stadium, and I'm in
Metallica.
I'm in the Denver Broncos locker room, sitting at a table doing impressions for them, and James Hetfield goes, "So how'd you learn how to do those impressions? Do you like practice or?" And I go, "No, it's a weird story." And Rizzuto knows the story. My family's deaf, and I grew up like not being able to learn how to talk for my family. I learned how to talk by copying all the voices I heard on TV. And so when James Hetfield said, "Hey, how'd you learn how to do that?" and he said, "Oh, so I grew up in a really unusual circumstance." And Lars goes, "Dude, his whole family's retarded." I go, "They're not retarded. They're deaf. Deaf, retarded, whatever. His whole family's retarded. Couldn't learn how to talk to his family, so his whole family's retarded." I'm like, "No, they're deaf. They're not retarded." But yeah, but that all happened because of you guys.
Because this radio station here.
Yeah,
Now,
that was insane.
Now, what was great was, all right, the Cubs obviously won the World Series last year, and which was a terrible blow to the people of St. Louis.
Yeah.
The big Cubs-Cards rivalry.
By the way, I've never understood it on the Cardinal side because the Cubs were the lovable losers. It always blew me away. There was such a hatred for the Cubs here.
Well, and we all know what happened last year.
Yeah.
And as we're watching the celebrations happen, so the camera is on Eddie Vedder and and Bill Murray. They want to get their reactions to when the Cubs win. And there's Bill Murray almost in tears and sitting. Were you in front of him or behind him?
I was in between Bill Murray and Eddie Vedder.
There is Craig Gass with your phone sticking up, taking pictures of
Did you see
Bill Murray.
The Facebook Live that I was doing?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to send it to you. Can you reshare it with the station page? It's insane.
Yeah, send it to Moon over here.
Okay, it's insane. Those weren't my seats, by the way.
How did you get there?
Okay.
He is sitting with Bill Murray, #1 Cubs fan in the world, at the World Series when the Cubs win. And you see Bill Murray and Craig Gass.
Yeah.
I've never been to a World Series game. This is the 2 teams with the longest drought ever in the history of sports.
Uh-huh.
And I want to be at Game 7 for this. So a friend of mine who works with another baseball team sold me tickets, and I went into the stadium and I started texting friends of mine who live in Cleveland.
How much you pay for those tickets?
I want to say $80 each.
Wow, nice.
Damn.
Yeah, face price, and it might have been $100. I'm not sure,
Either
but it
way.
wasn't crazy. They're being resold for like upwards of like 15, 20
Right,
grand a piece.
thousands.
Yeah. So I go inside the stadium and I am texting friends of mine who live in Cleveland. Hey man, are you here? Are you here? Like anyone who I think might have been there. A guy who owns a local popular restaurant called The Melt. It's a grilled cheese sandwich
Yeah, I've
restaurant.
heard of that place. Very famous.
I had just had a big thing happen with them because I was in Cleveland doing a show earlier in the season. I book my shows in American League cities around Mariner games.
Right.
So I was there in Cleveland earlier in the year watching the Mariners play in Cleveland, and I'm doing press and asking people, like, what's there to do in Cleveland while I'm here this week besides go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? And everyone's like, oh, dude, have you been to the Melt? Have you know, the Melt, like that's where you got to go. You got to go to the Melt. And I was like, what's the Melt? It's a grilled cheese sandwich place. So I started asking on the air, like, why does everybody here want to have sex with a grilled cheese sandwich? Like, what is it about these grilled cheese sandwiches that are so great?
Uh-huh.
And the Melt tweeted me, hey, Craig, we'd love to have you come in and show you what our magic is all about. Come have a grilled cheese sandwich. And I tweeted them and said, I got a better idea. How about you come to my show and feed the audience?
Yay!
And they did. This
Wow,
guy, the
nice.
owner of the Melt, showed up with 100 grilled cheese sandwiches that we threw out the crowd. And it was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And the guy and I, we bonded. We became friends. And he texted me from Game 7 and said, dude, I'm in the third row right now. I'm sitting behind John Cusack and Eddie Vedder. And I said, all right, well, if you want to meet up, let me know. And he texted me back and said, you will not be able to get to me because I'm behind a wall of cops.
Yeah.
I mean,
was
it's like
gonna ask you,
security.
how do you get past security?
That's the craziest part about it. Walking around the stadium, I get stopped by a dude who works for the Cleveland Indians. A black dude who stops me and says, hey, weren't you on that metal show? And I went, that metal? Like, of all the things
Yeah.
that I had done, I go, are you a metalhead? And he goes, oh, man, I love metal. I love metal. And I was like, no way. Who are your favorite bands? He goes, oh, Metallica, Kiss. And I go, Kiss? I go, you know how much Gene Simmons hates me, right? And he goes, Gene Simmons hates me? I go, oh, dude. And I start telling him stories. And while he's talking to me, he's like, no way. Wait, hold on. And he keeps scanning tickets for people. And he goes, oh, yeah, here you go. Here's your wristband. I never heard that story. And he's talking to me. He goes, oh, wait, hold on. Let me just scan right there. Yep, you're good. Here's your wristband. I go, what are you handing out there? And he goes, oh, it's if you have a special ticket, you get into we have a private club behind home plate called the Home Run Club. You want one? And I go, sure. And he gave me the wristband, and then he kept talking to me, and I was like, do you mind if I just leave now? Can I
I'm
just
done
go?
with you. Thank you very much.
I go, and he goes, no, go, have fun. And I run down to the Home Run Club. Now I'm 10 rows behind home plate, and I text my buddy, and I said, dude, where are you? I'm if you turn around, I'm in this club. And he came up and visited me, and he said, if I find an empty seat, I'll let you know. In the bottom of the 8th, he said, dude, one of the players' wives just left in the third row. It's about 5 seats over from me. So come on down, and I'll stand up so you can see where to go. And he stands up, and I start walking down the aisle, and he goes, yep. He goes, hey, guys, come on, make room. And everybody stood up.
Moved over?
And let me cut over so I could sit in that empty seat, which was about 5 seats over from my buddy.
Uh-huh.
And the guy in front of me turned around and looked at me, and it was John Cusack. And I go, oh.
Hey, man.
Hey, what's up? And then I look in front
Here's
of
my
him.
bracelet.
I'm in third row center. I'm directly behind Eddie Vedder's front row center, John Cusack second row center, third row center. And I'm watching it, and then all I wanted for the outcome was extra innings and a rain delay because these are the two teams with the biggest drought, and rain was in the forecast that day.
That's
and
right.
I was praying for rain. I wanted 25 innings. That's what I wanted for Game 7 between the two teams who just have never won. And then bottom of the 10th, the Cubs look like they're about to win. And I start to put on my Facebook, and I go Facebook Live. And Facebook Live used to count down 3, 2, 1, you're live. And then I felt somebody leaning on me, and I turned around. It's Bill Murray. He's drunk and crying. and at that moment, but the Cubs, this is like a Facebook Live of the Cubs winning with Eddie Vedder in it and John Cusack. And I'm like, and I don't want to mess up the shot. And there's so many things I want to say to Bill Murray. I want to go,
I
love you.
Such a fan.
I love you.
And Groundhog
I
Day
adore
and
you. But all I
Ghostbusters.
could say was, Bill, hold on. Hold on, Bill. Hold on. And then I get the last out and I go, oh, Bill. And we start high-fiving and hugging each other. And he is like, you've seen the Facebook video. He's less than a foot away from my phone. It's just the whole phone is his face. And I don't realize my phone is exploding with text messages going, get off my TV, you loser. Because they're showing Bill Murray and I high-fiving each other. And it looks like we went to the game together.
That's almost what I thought. I think I came in the next day and said, you see Craig Gass on TV? I think he went to the game with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
My
Probably sleeping
buddy
on his couch.
My buddy from Cleveland texts me 30 minutes later and says, hey, I'm sorry I didn't say goodbye. It was good to see you. That game sucked. And he was angry. And I go, dude, I didn't even know you left. Dude, Bill Murray showed up. He hung out for a half hour. And he wrote me back and said, F Bill Murray. And I went, who says F Bill Murray? Like, what are you talking
an
about?
Indians fan.
And lots of Cardinals fans.
And really? Lots of Cardinals fans?
Yeah, because he was at some charity golf tournament, and a kid in a Cardinals hat went up and said, Bill Murray, I love your movies. And jokingly, but you know how Bill Murray sometimes does things and does not laugh?
Yeah.
He jokingly grabbed the kid's hat and threw it and walked away. And from then on out, people were like, F Bill Murray, he's disrespectful. He took things too far. And then when somebody asked him about it, he was like, I was just kidding around.
Yeah. That's my hero.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right, that's Craig Gass is here. He is at Bar 101 on Saturday night. The guy's a ball of energy, isn't he?
A little bit.
All right, let's.
We haven't even gotten
sports.
started.
No, let's do some sports.
That's crazy.
All right, here he is, the man,
Hey,
the myth,
by the way,
Tony Patrico. Yeah.
The show at Bar 101, it's not on the Bar 101 website yet, but it's at getgas.com. Get gas with two
Gas.
S's. I think they're going to put it on the Bar 101 Facebook page later today. But if you want the tickets, it's getgas, two S's.com.
And it's really happening. You're not making this up, right?
No, Saturday night, one show. Sells out after 15 people buy tickets.
All right.
I checked on his
screw this
website
up,
like
fatty.
he told me to. Don't worry, it's up there.
Sports brought to you by Hot Shots Bar and Grill, 11 area locations, all the games, all the time. Blues took on the Rangers at Madison Square Garden last night.
You a hockey fan?
I'm becoming more of one, yeah. I mean, I was never into it, but the more time I spend in Canada, the more of an appreciation I have for hockey.
Love hockey here.
It was the first time that the team faced former
There's no
teammate
games
Kevin
this week.
Shattenkirk as a Ranger. Shattenkirk did tally an assist, but New York couldn't get things going. Blues had goals from Carl Gunnarsson and Braden Shen before an empty netter from Jaden Schwartz sealed the deal. 3-1 win in New York. Carter Hutton made 32 saves in his first start of the season.
Carter Hutton,
He's on
He's
fire.
going to be on the air with us 9 o'clock.
Player of the game, by the way.
Carter Hutton.
Next up for the Blues is a game in Florida against the Panthers. Puck drops at 6:30. Blues also announced yesterday that starting in 2018-2019, the San Antonio Rampage will be officially their new affiliate team. There's a 5-year deal in place, and it starts next year. The team will control all hockey operations. So right now they're kind of splitting it because the Wolves are now the affiliate of Vegas. So the Blues have some guys in Chicago and some guys in San Antonio. Starting next year, all San Antonio for the Blues.
wow.
So official.
So what does that
affiliate
mean
there.
for somebody like Chris Butler?
Chris Butler right now is in San Antonio.
Okay.
So they're moving some guys there. Some of the guys they have the rights to in Chicago, but Vegas also has rights to some of the guys in Chicago as well. So Game 4 of the NLDS between the Cubs and the Nationals rained out yesterday in Chicago. Game rescheduled this afternoon. Chicago up 2-1. Night game has the Yankees taking on the Indians. Game 5, series tied up 2 games apiece. The U.S. men's soccer team, what a bummer here.
Don't even talk about it.
Failed to qualify for the World Cup for the first time since 1986, losing a chance to be in the 2018 tournament with a stunning 2-1 loss to Trinidad and Tobago yesterday.
You ever been to a soccer game? Well, Seattle. I mean, they got
For
the
the- yeah, I-
Sounders. I mean,
Yeah, I went to a Sounders game.
not for you.
It was kind of a weird experience, but it was cool though. I was at it's a long story.
All right.
It's a long story. But I met the owner of this. I met a guy at a burger place who said, I'm the owner of the Sounders. And then I didn't believe him, but I called the number the next time I was in Seattle. He invited me to a Sounders game and explained soccer to me.
Right. I think they're fun. There was a
It is
couple,
fun.
couple national matches here in St. Louis. We had a great time going. But
Yeah.
what's going on?
Soccer
with
fans
this?
who are into soccer are insane.
Oh, absolutely.
They're like me back when I was on coke.
Yeah.
The 28th ranked Americans had needed only a tie against the world's 99th ranked team, but instead they ended a run of 7 straight American appearances in the World Cup, which is held every 4 years. Making it worse, the first of Trinidad and Tobago's 2 scores was an own goal,
And it was bad.
It was bad.
Aye.
And then they scored on like a 30-yard bomb, which was ridiculous as well.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we blew it. They deserve. They don't even deserve tickets to watch the World Cup.
Well, you know who also has the same opinion as you? St. Louis's own Taylor Twillman. He went nuts yesterday, and here's the audio.
By the way, as an ex-player, every single one of those players,
They can take some of that.
nightmares
Yep.
for the rest of their lives because this is an utter embarrassment with the amount of money that is in Major League Soccer and in this sport. You can't get a draw, a tie
Ooh, that's
against
a
Trinidad.
good point.
Max, you don't deserve to go to the World Cup.
Can't beat
You
Trinidad
kidding me?
today.
We can't beat Trinidad on a field that's too wet and too heavy? What are we doing? What are we doing? This is the discussion that's being had.
They don't even have indoor plumbing there, I'm sure.
You know what? I didn't think I really cared about soccer, but now I want to punch somebody in the face.
Yeah.
I'm with them on
remarkable to
that.
me
I
and
didn't
how
think I cared.
ignorant people are when the rest of the world, Belgium played Bosnia on a cow pasture, but we can't play in Trinidad with water in the field. Iceland is the same size as Corpus Christi, Texas, or Anaheim, California. They can figure it out.
And they had to
If
beat
the
harder
United
teams.
States can't figure it out, then no business being involved, because if Iceland, an area that small, the size of Corpus Christi, Texas, I have to repeat that because that's an unbelievable reminder saying, how can we not figure this out?
Yeah, and we didn't have difficult teams to beat, and Iceland did. Yeah, we don't deserve it.
Unbelievable.
We'll get them in 4 years.
Maybe our
guys.
players are partying.
Yeah,
Are
they're
they
just having a good
partying?
time.
Are they-
Not
who
taking it
knows?
seriously.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what a lot of people said, that they didn't take it serious this year. So overpaid athletes is what they call them. Patrico, that's your sports, and boom goes the dynamite.
All right, we got to take a break.
Boom
More
went the
Craig Gass.
dynamite.
So, again, it's been a while since we've seen you, and I guess this summer you auditioned for SNL.
Yeah, I did I went to a party. A friend of mine is now on the cast. A girl named Melissa Villasenor, and I went to the SNL rap party. Long story short, the casting director at SNL, we had a really cool conversation, and I said, "What would it take to audition for SNL?" And she said. And someone was telling her the story, like, Craig grew up in a deaf family, and he learned how to talk by copying all the voices, and then he's always been able to do anything. And I told her about the stuff I've been doing with Family Guy. I don't even know if I was doing Family Guy last time I saw you.
I think you were doing some stuff on there.
Family Guy was like, for me, that was like
That was top of the
biggest.
mountain.
Because I'm such a fan. Like every
Yeah.
show I've been on, King of Queens, Sex and the City, they're all like huge shows. I've been really lucky. But I never watched any of the TV shows. I
But
was
you
on.
watch Family Guy.
Every Sunday, dude, so much so that I really
That's top of the mountain for you.
I creeped out Seth MacFarlane. My first record, it was just me and Seth. It was really embarrassing. It was really, really embarrassing because this woman, Linda, discovered me on YouTube. She called me up and said, "Hey, Craig, my name's Linda Lamontagne. I'm the cast director for Family Guy and American Dad. Are you available to work on Family Guy?" I was sitting in a Long John Silver's when she called me, and I was like, "Yeah, just get some more hush puppies. I'm available. I'm free. Yeah, what do you need?" And she goes, "Well, can you be in LA next Friday?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And she goes, "Okay, can you be? Are you available to do this?" "Yes." "Can you do this? You'll be with Seth MacFarlane." "Yes." I hung up the phone, didn't ask any questions. The day before I flew out, I'm hanging out with my comedian friends in New York, and I go, "Dude, I got a job working for Family Guy. I'm doing voices of Family Guy and American Dad." And all my buddies were like, "Oh my God, how much are they paying you?" And I went, I have no idea. I never even asked that question. And I called her back and I said, "Linda, hey, it's Craig Gass." And she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No, I'm fine. This is really embarrassing, but I never even asked you, what am I getting paid when I come in tomorrow?" And she goes, "Oh, hold on. Craig Gass. And I hear her going through some paperwork and she goes, Craig Gass, you're getting scale plus 10. And I went, "Okay." Okay, so I'm scale plus 10, and she goes, yeah, and I go, all right, so I'm scale plus 10. All right, cool. She goes, you got any questions? I go, yeah, what's scale plus 10? I don't even know. Like, I've never heard about scales. I only know about, like, this is what the amount is. Like,
what's 10? What's this 10?
What's
is
a
it
10?
$10?
I'm getting $10, and I'm getting a scale, and she had to explain to me that AFTRA had negotiated.
That's the union.
That's the union, and your scale is $780 plus 10% is $78. She had to break it down. I was like, okay, so it's $858. Okay, cool. All I knew is my plane ticket was like $300.
Yeah.
And my rental car, I was gonna net like $400, and I was like, I would have paid you to do it.
Yeah.
And I get in, and Seth MacFarlane's there. And I go, oh man, and I'm like,
geek out?
I'm trying so hard that when he makes like a little joke, I go, ha! Like
And the look on your face makes a lot of
yeah,
that.
I'm trying so hard, and then we're alone. It's just me and Seth MacFarlane, and he's running the board, and he kept doing one line as Peter Griffin, where he kept saying, "This is crazier than when Al Pacino was a slumlord laundromat tenant." And then they cut to me as Al Pacino, surrounded by a bunch of broken down washers and dryers, going, "You're out of order. And you're out of order. And you're all out of order." And I did that 3 times, and Seth goes, "All right, man. I think we're good." But I'm so nervous because I think we're gonna be friends now. Yeah. I think because we're all
we work so well together.
I think like, hey, we're hanging out, we're gonna be friends, and I go, hey, so
I actually think here's your scene from Family Guy. All right, this is Craig Gass on Family Guy.
Boy, it is more uncomfortable than being around Al Pacino in a slum laundromat.
You're out of order, and you're out of order, and you're out of order.
Got it? Got it now?
I say to Seth MacFarlane, "Do you want to hang out?" And he goes, "What do you mean hang out?" And I go, "I don't know, you want to grab a coffee or something? You want?" And he goes, "I got to work." And I go, "All right. Do you want me to leave?" And he goes, "Yeah, get the hell out of here." And I go, "Oh, I'm sorry. All right, I'll get." And I walked out. I didn't hear from him again for another 6 months. Linda didn't call. Nobody called me. And then Linda started calling, going, "Hey, Craig, can you do this voice? Can you do this voice? Can you do this voice?" And I started going, yeah. And then every time I come in, I never see Seth MacFarlane. It's always this guy, Mike Henry, who does the voice of Cleveland and the creepy old guy. And every time I see Mike, I go, "Hey, Mike, is Seth around?" And every time I see him, he goes, "Don't worry about Seth. We'll get you out of here real quick. Come on. We'll get you out of here really quick." Wow. Yeah, that says everything. So I got really, but for some reason with SNL, I didn't get nervous. I just, I had Dana Carvey, who I filmed a TV show with a year before on USA. Dana Carvey's a huge supporter, and he helped me do my SNL audition. And I had to learn, I wanted to learn some political impressions. And I'm obsessed with this dude who's a conspiracy theorist, Alex Jones.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Who Alex Jones is really intense and pretty much makes you believe that you shouldn't trust anyone. And then he tries to sell you vitamins and
survival
minerals.
kits.
Yeah, survival kits. And I'm obsessed with him because he's so intense with his theories that
ISIS is creating everything. You gotta believe me when I tell you that ISIS is creating everything. I know things. They say there's 208 bones in the human body. I've counted. There's only 7.
Like, there's just bizarre things.
Anyways, I have this wonderful butt cream that we're selling right now. Rizzuto, you were telling me you had some problems with your butt, right? And now you've been trying
Itchy.
the butt cream. It's been really itchy. And now you said your butt's been very smooth and really just feels wonderful. Is that right?
Whoa.
Unbelievable. So that's right. And Joey from Blossom is also here. Whoa. Yeah. So, anyways, Joey from Blossom and Rizzuto, my producer, we all love the butt cream. So, please check out the butt cream. But let me tell you something. I rode a bicycle across the United States when I was 7 years old. Because I'm not a pussy.
Whatever. But I narrated the entire audition as Alex Jones, and
is this on tape?
Yeah, I filmed it, and I had to sign contracts with NBC to say, hey, everything I'm gonna send you is gonna be original, and then I sent them. It was Alex Jones talking to you from 30 years in the future. I found a wormhole, and I was able to time travel. And I'm here to tell you that if you think the world is scary now, you need to know what's about to happen 30 years from now Tom Arnold is your president. And it was this whole dumb thing. Tom Arnold has been saying for a year now that he has a video of Trump saying the N-word.
Right.
So 30 years from now, Tom Arnold's your president, and it was this bizarre thing where Alex Jones was telling you everything, and I was narrating and doing all the voices to everybody. Hey, it's Tom Arnold. I like fat women and cocaine, and I'm your president, and Tracy Morgan's your vice president.
That's not all. Alec Baldwin went from being a movie star to being a TV star to being a game show host, and now 30 years from now, he's hosting a web series of upskirt porn, and it's very scary in the future. And I sent it in, and we went back and forth, and ultimately I didn't get the gig, but they said, the people at SNL said, well, we know who you are now. And I went, all right.
Well, why didn't you get the gig?
And
You
I
have
said,
no
well, I know
reason.
who you are too. I didn't. It was just. I don't know what the decision was, but it was implied that I could audition again next year.
Oh, that's good.
So we'll see. But
Well, when do you get to the part where you do the stand-up and they come to the stand-up gig and Lauren Michaels sits in the back and kind of says, thumbs up, thumbs
some
down,
years they do
yes,
that,
no.
and some years they don't. And by the way, those stories are mind f's. They're just. Like,
I love hearing those stories.
One of my favorites was that I think it was Spade had a story about how they did a show. It was a showcase, and it was Spade, Schneider, and the guy who now does the voice of SpongeBob, Tom Kenny. Yeah, and everyone ate it except for Tom Kenny, who got a standing ovation. And Tom Kenny was the only guy that night who wasn't hired.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, he's gone on to do,
yeah, he's doing
very successful things.
But they said
Tom
they don't
Kenny.
want you to be too polished.
Yeah, they want to
They
kind
want
of
to mold
you
you.
in
It's
their
weird.
image.
It's the craziest.
So David Spade, Rob Schneider, Tom Kenny kills it.
Yeah.
He doesn't get the job. The other two.
I have a theory about that.
What's the theory?
Bees are robots. I know you don't want to believe it, but trust me, bees are robots.
Is it, Harvey Weinstein, that's what it was.
That's right. Harvey Weinstein's in control of everything. It's ISIS. Anyways, I have a wonderful AIDS cream that I want to sell you. It's a new icy hot AIDS.
Listen, Craig
keeps your
Gass is
balls
here.
icy and keeps the AIDS burning.
We got to take another quick break, but after the break, and you are a music fan.
The show's at Club 101. What is it? Club 101?
Bar 101.
Bar 101. Get your tickets for the comedy show on Saturday night. It's at getgas.com. Get gas with 2 S's. I don't even believe the show's happening because it's not on the Bar 101 website.
I love playing this game. The last time we played this was when Jim Florentine was here.
No, Jim Brewer.
Oh, Jim. All right, we played this with Jim Brewer. All right, so this is a great game. It's called the Lullaby game.
Lullaby.
All right, so we got some tickets to give out after the break. Tickets to go see Ben Folds Friday night over at the pageant. Tickets to go see Primus Sunday night, November 5th.
That's not a real
band.
I've been to Des Moines, Iowa 7 times. It's not a real city.
All right, so 314-969-DUDE, 314-969-3833. So we'll give Craig how many?
We have 11.
11. Let's make it 10. Let's do 10.
All right, we'll give an example and then 10 of them.
All right, we'll give you 10 songs. You have to figure out what these songs are, but they're in lullaby form.
All right, we're going to play this game.
We're going to play this
I
game
don't
after the
trust
break.
what you're trying to do to me right now.
All right.
We're going to play the game. Getgas.com.
Getgas.com.
With 2 S's.
The Rizzuto Show on 105.7 The Point.
All right, our pal Craig Gass is here. He's got a show to Saturday night over at Bar 101.
Bar 101. It's not on the website for Bar 101 yet, but it's at getgas.com. Get gas with 2 S's.
All right, so let's give away some stuff. We got tickets to go see Ben Folds Friday night,
Nice.
November 3rd over at the pageant. We got tickets to go see Primus Sunday night, November 5th over at Peabody Opera House. Now, this is a tough game we're going to play, Craig. I know you're a music fan. You've been to many, many concerts. You know many,
Big
many
music fan.
songs.
Yes.
Let's see how you do with this.
But I also did a lot of drugs.
What'd you say?
That's
true.
So
the game we're playing is called the Lullaby Game. We played this with Jim Brewer. We played this with Jim Florentine. Now we play with Craig Gass. So we're going to play the lullabiized version of a song.
What genre of music are we going to be doing here?
All.
This is going to be all.
It's
all.
all.
Right.
It's all. But these are big, fat hit songs.
They are.
These are big hit songs
Okay.
that you're very familiar with.
You ever
So-
heard these kind of lullaby things before?
No, but what are most people's batting average? What am I? How?
It depends.
it's
Brewer
all
did
over.
pretty well.
Yeah.
Jim Florentine did all right. Moon does right in the middle.
I've done really well before and then completely bombed before. It's far more difficult than you think.
Let me give you an example. Here's an example, okay? This is a Lullaby's version of a very big song. Come on, you know that.
I have no idea what that was.
Play the real version.
Oh, no way!
So that's a big
I feel
fat...
like a jerk now.
All right, again, these are tough. All right, so I'm going to play you 8 of these, and you just, you do your best. You tell us what songs they are. So add 8. Closest without going over. How many will Craig get right? Ed in Wentzville, what do you think?
4.
All right, he says 4. You're writing these down, Patrico?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ed says 4. Hang on, Ed. Paige, what do you think?
5.
5. Very confident, Paige. Hang
What's
on.
up, Paige?
Hang on, Paige.
Paige sound like she got a sweet thick ass.
I didn't say that. Tracy Morgan
Len
said
in
that.
Wentzville, out of 8, how many will Craig get right?
We'll go with 1.
1. All right.
That's
All right, hang on.
Paige, meet me in the parking lot of Bar 101. On Saturday night, I'm filming an independent movie.
Sean, what do you think?
I say 3.
3. All right, hang on.
Thank you,
All
white
right, again,
people.
Ben Folds and Primus tickets on the line. All right, ready to go? Let's do this. Again, these are all big hits, Craig.
Big hits. All right.
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Name that song.
Bon Jovi.
What song?
Living on a Prayer.
It's 1 right.
All right. All right.
All right, 1 for 1. All right, ready for the next one?
Cocaine hasn't killed me yet. Here we go.
1 right.
All right, here we go.
This is a tough one. You getting it?
Yes.
All right, that time is up.
You know what really throws you off is the slide whistles and the little
Squeezing of the
squeaker,
duck.
squeaker toys.
I'll give you a little piece again. You gotta give me a guess.
He killed Iron Maiden.
What
Run
song?
to the hills. Holy Jesus!
All right.
That's at the buzzer. That was
Wow.
at the buzzer.
2 for 2. 2 for 2.
Wow.
Here's your third one.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Give it away. Woo!
Look at you.
Suck it, dude who said I would only get one.
He was
Yeah,
just playing
Len's out.
He's just
Len
playing
is
Prices Right.
3
rules,
for
That's
3.
all.
All right.
3 for
That's a
3.
good point. He was doing Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
Here we go. Song number 4.
Oh. Foo Fighters, Hero.
Wow, you got it, my hero.
It's exciting.
All right.
Gonna go see the Foo Fighters for the first time in 2 weeks.
Oh, you've never seen them before?
I don't think so.
Oh, boy. They are amazing live.
Yeah, the Struts
Amazing.
are opening for him.
Yeah, I
Struts are
saw
like
him in
the-
between the 3rd and 4th breakup hiatus.
Really?
It was awesome.
Nice.
All right, so here is
Oh, no, I did see them. I'm sorry.
song number
Drugs.
5.
Song number 5. Here we go.
title.
Journey. Separate Ways. Oh, no.
Yeah, Separate Ways is right.
Lock it in.
Worlds apart, separate ways.
Okay, Separate Ways, that's right. So far, he's doing the best out of anybody who's ever done this game.
Yeah, 5 out of 5.
5 for 5.
Weird.
I will tell you what. This next one is the hardest one
Oh, without a doubt.
by far.
If you get this, I will be truly impressed.
All right.
Here we go. Song number 6. It's a very slowed down version of this song. Very slow.
Oh, can you play it for me again?
I think I got
All right.
it. I think I got it.
All right. One more time. I'm going to give you 15 seconds of it, okay?
Okay.
Moon got it, by the way.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Watch
Greg.
me now.
What is the song?
All mixed up.
I'm going to see them in 2 weeks, too. Damn it.
311 all mixed up.
Damn it.
First one wrong.
That was super slowed down. Though. That's
First
where that
one
threw
wrong.
you.
All right, you got 2 more.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh, Craig, come on, man.
Kiss. Detroit Rock City. Get the hell out of here! Oh my God!
That's a good one.
Hey, this is Paul Stanley.
2 Paul Stanleys, by the way, in interviews
Soft-spoken Paul Stanley.
and on stage, where I actually heard him in Las Vegas go,
All right, people, now listen. You know, I know this town is known for its buffets. And I can tell you right now, after this show, I see a lot of people in the front row I really want to eat.
Oh, my God.
fixing his hair. Yeah. I mentioned it. I went to see the show again later in the tour at Madison Square Garden. Me and a bunch of comedians went to go see them, and I asked a bunch of guys who work for KISS, did you hear what he said in Vegas about wanting to eat the front row? And 3 separate guys said, did you hear about what happened in Omaha? Did you hear about Nebraska? And I go, no, what happened in Nebraska? And apparently in Nebraska he went,
All right, people, now listen. You know, I know that this town is known for its Angus beef. And I can tell you right now, after this show, I'm going to want to sink my teeth into some meat.
and the whole crowd went, what? And Paul Stanley went back to the microphone and said, now hold on.
Let me walk this back.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a thigh or a rump roast.
And the whole crowd went, what?
Okay, man. Thanks, Paul.
Making it better.
And apparently the whole the road crew behind the stage looking at each other going, what the hell is he doing out there? Like, yeah. So.
All right, one more.
All right, one more. Here we go.
Last song. Here
so
we go.
I'm what, 6 for 7 right now?
Yeah, 6 for 7.
Here
All right,
we
here
go.
we go.
Last song. It's a tough one.
Everybody's going to town.
Because it picks it up at the middle.
Take me down to the Paradise City.
Guns N' Roses.
You got it.
Yeah!
Paige wins.
Oh, page one? Where's Paige?
Paige won about 2 answers ago, but yeah.
Hey, Paige, congratulations.
Thanks.
What do you want?
Primus.
All right, Primus, Sunday night, November 5th over at Peabody. You get tickets for an evening with Primus.
And I'm throwing in tickets for a comedy show on Saturday at Bar 101.
Paige, who wants to see you?
I get
Saturday
the Bar
night.
101 tickets too?
You
want
go to
them?
the comedy show, but if you want to be in a movie called Men in Back, come out to a white handy van in the parking lot.
All right, Paige.
I'll be
Paige,
in a
hang on
white
one
handy
second.
van in the parking lot. Bring your own shoehorn.
Get your info. Hang on one second.
That's crazy.
Hey, I want to thank Craig Gass. It's always a pleasure.
Oh my God.
We love you so much.
Scratching the surface. I got so much more to tell you.
I know. Well, maybe come back on Friday.
I'm in. All the info for the show is at getgas.com. The info's not at the Bar 101 website yet. It'll be on their Facebook page. But the link, if you want to get tickets, and I see that sales are already happening right now, it's getgas with 2 S's.com, and come down on Saturday night. I'm looking forward to reconnecting with a lot of old friends out
Do
here.
you want to hear my Owen Wilson impression?
Please.
Wow. Craig Gass, everybody!
Wow.
Wow.
The Rizzuto Show.
I love heroin.